Let's talk about personnel placement here. One of the things that is important, I think, is flip-flopping the line. Now, the reason for that is that the strong side of the offensive line is going to see certain defenses and certain stunts, and they're going to be required to be more physical and block at the line of scrimmage and get some movement. The offside, if we're running 34, we pull both of these guys, and so they've got to be able to pull, and they're more agile blockers. If we're running 44, we only pull one guy, but the fullback is involved in this. Now, so given what I just said, the strong tackle, I like to have him be a big guy if you've got one big guy. He does not have to be a great athlete. He doesn't have to have real good foot quickness. We do use him to pull some on the quick toss to the strong side, and I'll go through that more, but he doesn't have to be an agile person. What we do like him to be able to do is to be able to block on the tackle and be a physical mismatch with this guy. He doesn't have to be a basketball player. He doesn't have to be really an athlete. He's got to just be somebody that, because of his size, that he can match up with other defensive tackles, because they're usually going to put one of their best guys right here. The strong guard is almost like the strong tackle, but he can be a little bit smaller, or of course he can be the same size, but again, his job is more to get a little bit of movement on this side of the line. The center can be any size. In high school, I had centers that were 150 pounds. In college, I've had centers that ranged from 100 and probably 80 to 200 and maybe 80 pounds. But a good thing that if the center is smart and can make some decisions, it also helps you. Your quick guard has got to be sort of your stud on the offensive line. He is very similar to the fullback if you're featuring 44. Now, if you don't have a great fullback, you can feature 34, and he is more just of a backside blocker on that. But the good thing about 44 is that you got certain play action passes that really help your total offense. But this guy right here is a stud. He can be any size. I have, give me just a minute. I'm going to go get something here. I want to show you a picture of two of the best pulling guards that I've had. The first one is Tom Rossi, and he's probably the best. Now, I'm not big. I'm 5'8", probably, and you can see that standing beside Tom, he is shorter than I am. I think he weighed about 240, 245, maybe even 250, but he was a great lineman for us in college. The second guy that was a great lineman is this guy right here. And again, you can see the height of him compared to me. So you don't have to have a big guy, a tall guy, but you need somebody that is loves to play the game and get in there and battle. Your quarterback can be any style of quarterback. I like somebody who can run the boots, but it's also important that they can execute the play action passes, because this is based on two running plays. There are a lot of passes that come off of there, and he is the guy that offense is this part of the field, while the offensive line, the fullback and the tailbacks are more offensing the box area here. The tailback, the better tailback you have, the better. I've had tailbacks, the tailback that I had at St. Thomas, and also the best tailback I ever had at Lambeth. Both of those guys were like 5'7", 5'5", 5'6", and probably weighed 180 pounds or so. I also have had tailbacks that were 220, 230, and of course they're more of a power type of runner, but any kind of tailback that is a threat is a good person to have. It's nice if he has speed, because the quick toss can get out here, or the quick toss can get out here if defenses are doing things where they're doing a lot of stunning and so on like this, and all of a sudden you're out on the edge, and of course we have some blocking on the edge going on also. The best receiver is usually the X, and the reason for that is because we run 34 so much, and the 134, he is directly involved in that. Z has got to be a little bit more multi-talented, and maybe even a little smarter player, because we will use him in a lot of different positions and motions and shifting and so on, and he has to block against safeties and corners and things like this, so he's got to be a little bit more of an athlete. The tight end, again, at the university level, I've had some big tight ends. The one we had most recently at Rockford was about 6'4", 260, but I've also had guys that were first team all-conference tight ends that were 5'11", maybe 6 foot, and 185 or so. The big thing is they got to love to block in here like this, but they have to be agile enough to be a receiver down the field. Okay.